everybody, and happy Sunday. It is finally time to paint our BOGO kit of the month. So we are going to be working on our brand new interchangeable gnome. I know a lot of y'all got this kit, and we were supposed to have this class last week, but I had to go out of town for a few days. So thank you for being patient and flexible as we rescheduled it for tonight. So again, hope y'all have had a wonderful, relaxing Sunday. Let me know if you have this kit and if you are or have already painted it, or if you're painting it tonight. Since it's no longer August, it is still on the website, but not as a BOGO kit. So we will be voting for new kits next week, since September has arrived. So I am using, you should have gray. Hey Paula, how are you? You should have gray and silver. Oh, awesome. Have you painted it yet, or you have plans to paint soon? I'm using the silver on the hat and the moon. So really you don't have to worry about this piece right here, because it's going to be covered with this little 3D hat rim. And I'm using a makeup sponge. If you have some handy, I like to paint with those, but you can also just use brushes if you'd like. Hello, how are you? Let me know what y'all been doing today. It's Sunday, everybody's off work, right? Enjoying some nice weather. It was super rainy the last couple days around here, but it was pretty nice today. So it is a good day to just hang out and enjoy this time between summer and fall. Who's ready for fall? My favorite. I have had some questions on this wizard gnome and which pieces are interchangeable. So as you know, this is one of our brand new interchangeable kits, and we have not added any pieces. So this starts off the whole interchangeable series of this gnome. So this is the first one. So there's no other ones on here on the website yet, but there will be. All right, so this is the silver part right on top, and what we're going to do now is paint this bottom piece the blue, because that's going to show through around all the silver. So I'm just going to move this out of the way, and we're going to do blue. And of course you could do any color you wanted. So the kit comes with the blue, but you can do whatever you feel. I'm going to switch over to a paintbrush for the big surfaces. I just think it's easier. I like the makeup sponges on the smaller pieces. So let me, if you're going to use a different color than blue, tell me what you're going to do to your hat. What color are you going to make it? What color do you think it could be to go with? I guess the thing, well, so the hat is going to be interchangeable, right? So you could paint it more fall colors if you want, and you don't have to worry about it matching all of the upcoming interchangeable pieces that we're going to have, because you're just going to take it off and switch it out. So you can paint it whatever you want, and it'll still go with your Christmas theme and summer themes and all that. Alright, so that's what that's going to look like there. I'm going to go ahead. I'm not going to worry about this again, because this is going to be covered up, right? So we don't have to paint it. You can, but you don't have to. Alright, so in our example, the base of the gnome was brown. You can do brown or you can do black. But your feet, your base, your nose, your mustache, none of those will change. So even when you get different pieces for your gnome, the only thing that's going to be switched out is the hat and the pumpkin. So these two pieces are the ones you're going to use Velcro on, and everything else will be glued. Alright, what should I paint next? Let's do black. So I'm going to switch over to black. Alright, let's see. So I'm going to do the background of the pumpkin black, because that's what's going to show through the little pumpkin eyes and the pumpkin mouth. So background is going to be black. Then we can just paint over the whole thing. The candy is going to cover this area here. So again, I don't need to worry about it being a different color for the background. So, has anybody painted their gnome yet or have plans to get together with a friend? We're a little behind after a little out of town trip and Labor Day tomorrow, but we will have all new kits and a new go-go boat. Oh, who's joined the wagon club? That is our newest thing, and I'm so excited about it. And we're getting our September design together, and we'll be sending out the very first box of our wagon decor club. I know a lot of you have already signed up for it yet, and I'm super excited to get it going. It is, let me see. So I actually have these upside down. Let me flip them around. And we're gonna do black. So the feet are gonna go like this. So the narrow side is at the bottom. Not that it matters right now until we glue it, but I'm just gonna do that in all black. And again, you could do the shoes whatever color you want. Just keep in mind that these pieces will not be switched out. So you want something that's kind of neutral that's going to go with all of the interchangeable decor pieces. Okay. One shoe, two shoe. We've done these similar that have feet instead of shoes. They're so cute. What do you think you prefer, little feet with toes or shoes on your gnome? Anyways, our Wagon Decor Club is coming with a free gift this month. I know many of you already have the wagon, so we're going to send a little surprise that is going to give you another way to store all of your wagon pieces on it. So this is a month you do not want to miss out on. You want to be the first, one of the founding members of the Wagon Decor Club, and you will definitely get your money's worth this month. And then every month you're going to get a coupon for 20% off anything in the wagon collection. And what that means is 20% off any single purchase wagons or any pieces that hold the wagon interchangeables. And I don't want to say what it is because you're going to be getting that in the first box. And any single purchase set. So we have a ton of wagon kits on our website already, but these are going to be things you don't see on the website. We won't ever put them on the website. All right, I know I said that the example is brown, but I'm just going to go ahead and do these black, but you can definitely do brown if you want. It might blend in a little bit with the shoes, we'll see. To do it brown like the example, and I changed my mind last minute. That's okay, right? That's what we do. It's a woman's prerogative. That's what they say, isn't it? Mind changes. Okay, so while these are drying, I'm going to switch over to some other parts. I'm going to do the white last, and that's actually my favorite on a gnome because I just love playing with the grays and the beard. So we have a couple little pieces. These are just little candies. You probably want to do your candy corn, you know, traditional colors like orange and yellow. And then white, of course. But you can do your little candies any color you want. So we just have some green and blue, red, and all of these colors should be in your kit. So just use them however you want. Alright, I'm going to get a smaller brush for the candy cane. So I want to just use, I'll just use a small round brush. I'm going to go ahead and do the yellow. What is yellow on candy corn? It's the bottom, right? The bottom of the candy corn, I think, is yellow. And the middle is orange, right? The first candy cane, not candy cane. Look, I'm already jumping to Christmas. The first candy corn of the year, so Every year I feel like I have to look up the colors, the order of the candy corn, right? It's important. Alright, and then we have green. I'm going to do green on one of these little candy wrappers here. Just do a quick brush, and you can't see. Usually I stick my little pieces on a piece of painter's tape or frog tape just to keep them all together, and they like to flip and make them, you know, I make a mess. I don't know if anybody else does. But you can stick those little pieces onto a piece of tape. I didn't have my painter's tape, so these are on just a piece of clear tape, so you may not even be able to see it. Alright, so I may have these out of order. I don't think so, but I'm going to make this orange. And then what should we do the other candy pieces? I think I'll do the little sucker red. Well, we got about a month, almost 2 months till Halloween, right? Who gives out candy or decorates for Halloween? Does anybody do like the big pieces out in your yard? I was thinking about that earlier today. I always, you know, we have like the big inflatables for Christmas, but I've not ever done one for Halloween. What color should the little ones be? Let's try, I might do another one of the little yellow ones. Or the little one's yellow. I may actually, I think what I'm going to do is take a little bit of white and mix it with the green just to get a little bit of a I cannot say the word I'm trying to say. Just to get a little bit of a different color green for contrast. So that way they won't all blend in together. This is just a little bit of white mixed with that same green. And we could do that as well in the blue. I think I'm going to mix a little bit of the white with the blue to get a little bit of contrast going on the last little piece of candy. So what is your favorite Halloween candy? I'll tell you mine, I don't think it will ever change, is Reese's Pumpkins. I love when the kids get the little mini Reese's Pumpkins in their, well, you know, when they were younger and they go trick-or-treating. Those would definitely be my first pick. It's the cost of me taking them trick-or-treating, right? Gotta give me some Reese's Pumpkins. Alright, a little bit of white here on the top, and then we're done with our candy. There we go. Okay, we'll let those dry. And then we have orange, white, and peach. We'll go ahead and do our little pumpkin here. We're just going to go ahead and give it a base coat of the orange pumpkin, or a base coat of orange on the pumpkin. Oh, I had so much fun last night, y'all. We went to a paint class, which I haven't done in forever because, you know, that's what I do all the time, so I just don't ever think to go. But I really just wanted to go have some fun with a friend. Y'all may have seen a picture on the page, but I'm obsessed with pumpkin, so I'm like one of those pumpkin spice fanatics this time of year. Anything pumpkin, I love it. I love painting pumpkins. They're my absolute favorite. So I couldn't resist this little pumpkin mug painting at a local coffee shop that a friend of mine was doing, and I just thought, well, I'm gonna do something different and go paint for fun, let somebody else teach. and it was amazing. Such a great class, so much fun. Definitely got me in the fall spirit. Alright, so your peach for your gnome skin here and the little nose, it's going to look like this in your kit. I don't know if it comes across through the camera the same, but you can lighten that up a little bit if you want. So this is going to be like super peach with a little pink, but I'm going to mix some of this white in here and make it a little bit lighter. Oh, that's okay, Teresa. The replay will be on the page, and hopefully we can get it on YouTube soon. Not a problem. Alright, I am going to mix a little bit of white in with the peach because I want it to be kind of a subtle peachy color. Alright, let's start with the nose. And then I am going to do this little area here. So there's only going to be a tiny little bit peeking out behind the mustache, but I'm just going to go ahead and paint this area just so there's no like bare wood anywhere. And there are lines, but you don't have to worry too much about them because there's going to be some, you know, quite a few pieces on top of this layer. Most of this is going to be covered, but this will just save me from having to go back and fill in any spaces later. Alright, we're about to the beard. So on the beard, we can do like a really dark gray, you know, with a lot of gray or just a little gray, so you can play around with your beard. Do you like it mostly white, or do you like all the gray and black in it? I can do it either way. This is going to fit over here, so I should have all of those pieces in the back covered. So let's work on the white and the mustache. I'm going to just squeeze this right onto the wood, because it's going to need a second coat. And when I go back over it the second time, I'm going to mix it with some gray. Right here at the very bottom of your gnome, right here, you don't want to get much paint on that because that has to fit inside your base. And sometimes when you put paint on those areas that have to fit inside that slot, the paint can add a little bit of, you know, size onto the wood and make it hard to, it makes it hard to fit inside of the slot. We make them pretty tight. So you just don't want a super thick layer of paint right here because you may have problems getting it to fit into your base. Right. Smaller brush here. Again, most of this is going to be covered. So I'm just going to get kind of close. I'm not going to worry too much about it. Hopefully I can hear. I have the air conditioner running. It's like it's kind of noisy, but last time I tried to do this I was burning up, so I just left it run. I turned it off last time to cut down on the noise, but I regretted that. I was burning up. Alright, so we're going to let that dry, and then we'll go back with white and gray. We're going to do the same thing that we do on the beard on the mustache. So let's give this a quick layer of white. Oops. Anybody got plans for Labor Day weekend? We having a cookout, or you got to work tomorrow? I am working. Our big big sub box creative outlets going out on Tuesday. So I have to wrap those up tomorrow. They should already be done, probably, huh? Since tomorrow's a holiday. Just got a few things left to get together. Alright, I think we have everything painted, right? So this is going to fit on top of the black background. So see, that's automatically going to give us those dark eyes and mouth on the pumpkin. And then we'll just fit the candy around that. I think we can probably go ahead and glue some of these pieces that have been sitting for a little while. When you use your E6000, well, that's not going to work. It's glued shut and I don't have another one right in front of me, so I'm going to use my other glue. But when you use your E6000, just remember less is more. You don't want it to ooze out onto your wood because it can leave big blob marks. So just lightly spread that glue in the center of each wood piece. See if this is working. Kind of glued shut. Let me work on the top here. Okay, it's really stuck now. Okay, there we go. Alright, so just pretend this is the E6000 you get. We're just going to lightly dab some glue on the back. You don't want any super big blobs because that's going to cause you some problems later. And then we're just going to line this up right with the bottom piece. And don't forget, this one is interchangeable, so we're not going to glue this pumpkin to this gnome if you want this to be an interchangeable piece, okay? So don't forget that. I've done it before on my interchangeables. I glue them, not thinking, and then I can't get them off. All right, let's work on candy. You can just kind of layer the candy however you want. Forgot the little stick here. You may want to kind of, well, the circle up here is for the lollipop, so we can start there. And then you can kind of line these up too if you want. In fact, I would probably suggest laying these out the way you want them before you glue. You want to make sure you can get them, you know, all on there where you want them. And this one, I'm going to put this one down here and just make sure it's kind of flat, or you don't want it sticking down here. It's not going to sit right on your board. Line this little circle up right here. Make sure this is flat so it'll sit. You know, you want this to be flat at the bottom. Alright, just getting these pieces on and then we'll work on our beard. Dry a little bit. We'll go ahead and do the hat. We're not ready for anything on the actual gnome yet. Now again, you are not going to glue the hat to the gnome. If you want this to be interchangeable, you're going to use Velcro on the hat and on the pumpkin. So you just line this up. The outlines are already on the hat, so you're just layering it right over the outlines. They should fit just perfectly. Even the moon has that outline right there. All right, we're gonna let that dry, and I'm gonna go back to this. So, what do you think? A lot of gray, a little gray? What are we gonna do here? You could also use your silver. I do have some silver left, so I might go ahead and do that. So what I'm going to do is in my white. And I'm going to pick up a little bit of that gray for now. So I'm going to start with just a little bit of the gray color. And I'm going to brush that through. So it's kind of like double dipping, right? On your brush. Can y'all see those? Again, this is the gray. I mean, not the gray. This is the silver. But you can use your gray if you want. Now, if you get it super blotchy here, just go back over it with some white and blend that in, smooth it out. You want to kind of go the direction of the beard. So here I've got kind of a curve this direction, and over here I've got a little bit of a curve the opposite direction. So I'm picking up more white and more silver. And now I'm going to do, think of kind of like parentheses, right? So when you're doing the gnome beard, you're going to do like a right parentheses and then a left parentheses. Give that a little movement there. So what do you think? More gray, less gray? If you get too much gray, you can just go over it with white, and if you get, you know, and vice versa. Alright, let's do the same thing on, whoops, have that upside down. Let's do the same thing on this. So a little bit, I'm using the silver still. Now, we can kind of add a little bit extra gray to the mustache to give it you know, more contrast, so it doesn't look exactly the same as the beard. It can stand out a little more. And we're going the opposite direction with our strokes, right? So we're going towards the tip of the mustache. And I'm using a little more silver. So see there, I don't know if you can tell in the camera, but there's more gray on here. So I'm going to go back with a little bit more. I'm going to use a smaller pointed brush, and I'm just going to kind of quick stroke through and then go back over and smooth it out just a little bit. There we go. Okay. So just kind of play around with it until you get it the way that you like it. Strokes and then just kind of smooth them into your background. Now this is a lot lighter than the example. So if you want it to be like a super gray beard, you're going to use more gray and some black. Okay, so you could get it really dark. I'm going to go ahead and brush a little bit of black in so you can see kind of how you can change your beard up a little. Okay, so I picked up just a tiny bit of black with my white. Okay, so you can get it super dark this way. What do you think? Y'all like the light or the dark? How you like your gnome beard? Okay, so this is darkening up a lot. Just don't forget your parentheses when you're painting the gnome beard. You want to do the right parentheses and the left parentheses. And if you get too much gray, just go back with your white and brush that in again. Okay. So see how that really changed the look just by adding some black in with that. And we can do the same thing with our small brush now if you want to go in and kind of do some quick black strokes through there. So I'm just barely touching the brush to the board. Okay. Again, get them too dark, just go over it with white. I kind of like that. I'm feeling the lighter beard tonight, so I'm going to leave it that way. Okay. Since I made, I guess I should, well, I think I'm just going to leave it. Trying to decide if I should go over, you know, make the mustache darker. Alright, picking up some white, make it a little bit bit darker. So your nose is going to go here. That's going to be covered. Okay, so I think there's a little bit of contrast in the mustache. What do you think? Is that dark enough? Oops. Scratch my gnome beard. So we just want that to dry. And then we're just going to put it all together. So what you're going to do on your hat is you're going to use the Velcro on your hat, right? So you should have at least 2 sets of Velcro. What you're going to do is, this is the heaviest piece of your gnome. So put your Velcro somewhere down here in this area, and then you're going to stick that onto your board, right? So don't glue it if you want to be able to switch it out. Let's see, we're going to make sure your mustache ends are turned upwards, and then just play around with that look here. So I'm going to have a little bit of space between the nose and the bottom of the hat, so you can see the little peach area here, but I scooted the mustache down far enough that the peach is covered down here. So you want all the white down here and just a little bit of peach sticking out there. So Velcro the back of this hat right in here, okay, and those pieces you'll be able to switch out. You're going to glue the mustache, which I'm not going to do quite yet because it's still wet. You're going to glue the nose excuse me, right to the center of this. Isn't he cute? So cute. I love this little guy. Alright, and then you're going to take your shoes. Now, with the shoes, you want to make sure that they don't interfere at all with your little area that fits into your base. So don't glue them over that little piece that sticks out. This goes into your base, so don't cover them with your feet. Alright, you want to scoot them up high enough that it's not going to interfere with the base of the gnome. Okay, so they're going to be glued on right about here. So kind of match up the curve of the shoe with the curve of the gnome right at the bottom there. Alright, and you're going to turn them outward like that. Now your base, you're going to glue, actually I would suggest gluing it after you fit it onto your gnome, these two pieces. So you really don't have to glue them if you don't want to, but if you're having a hard time with it, moving around on you or falling or anything like that, you can glue your gnome into the base. So this is just going to slide right over that piece. And again, if you did get paint on that bottom, it may prevent you from being able to easily get that on. And then you're just going to put the second one on there like that. Okay, and then your gnome's going to stand. And then your pumpkin is interchangeable, but you don't have to glue it or use Velcro. It's just going to sit right there on your base. Okay, so you can just easily pick that up and put a new interchangeable there without Velcro. So use the Velcro on your hat, but not your pumpkin. Or you can if you want, but you don't have to. It'll just fit right over that base. And we are done our little wizard gnome. I didn't glue it because it's still a little bit wet, but I will go back and do that when it dries. Alright, make sure when you finish to post your cute little gnome inside of our craft kit group so we can tell you how adorable it is. Otherwise, watch for the new voting and the new kits coming out next week. Thank you all for your orders and your support. We appreciate you so much, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Have a great week.